Kyle, he runs all this. I know.
Wait, doesn't say for the game?
No, he does. He'll be back.
You guys, I know Sal.
He's not gonna let you do that. So I'm assuming, just like a camera, blinking red button means it's hot, solid red means it's cold. Oh, solid red is hot. Yeah.
And welcome to City National Arena, where tonight the 2022-23 ACHA hockey season begins for the Skating Rebels of UNLV. I'm Dana Lane, alongside a brand new, first-time color commentator. He was with the program last year, but we want to thank Dominic Lavoie for joining us. And Dominic, we appreciate you're going to do the first half tonight, and we're going to kind of rotate a little bit, but you were around the program last year, and you got to be excited about what this team's going to present this upcoming year.
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited, Dana. Thanks for having me. This team is going to be really special this year, I think. A lot of guys graduated, a lot of guys ended up going to pro hockey, like Ezekiel Scott. He's not with the team this year, but lots of NCAA transfers, a lot of exciting junior signings. I'm ready to go.
So the way it's going to work tonight, we're going to have two 25-minute halves, so it's not going to work like a normal three-period, 20-minute game, or 20-minute periods. So we'll have two halves of 25 minutes, and I think it's going to be running time, so we'll see how that goes. And, of course, the last time we saw the Rebels, they lost in the Final Four of the ACHA tournament to Central Oklahoma, who eventually lost to the eventual champion Lindenwood, who won the title last year. Nice save there. And this is a Rebel team, Dominic, that finished number 4 last year, 26-4-1. This year, I think when you look at the roster, it's as deep as they have had here. And they've also added some height, some weight, so the physical factor probably is at its best that it's been here as well.
Most definitely. And I mean, this team was a very physical team last season. It took a lot of penalties, but albeit they also did play a really fast and loose, rough kind of hockey, which we haven't seen in a while. And the game of hockey has moved towards a more fast-paced environment. But I mean, with all these exciting signings that we've talked about, it's going to be a really exciting team to watch this season. And like you said, with the depth, there's plenty of new signings, and there's an abundance of talent on this roster. So should the cursed injury bug show up, this team should be looking good.
And, of course, Anthony Vigneri Greener is back for his 8th season at the helm for the Skating Rebels. And Nick Raboni, his assistant coach, is also here. And, man, there's stability behind the bench, and that really helps the program out as you move along. I mean, for a long time now, those two have been behind the bench and produced consistent winners from year to year, a fantastic home record. And I think from a recruiting standpoint, that's always helped UNLV, having consistent coaching behind the bench.
Oh, yeah, and they've done phenomenal work in the last few years, and they've seen this team out through a Division II program all the way up to one of the premier Division I programs, and possibly even into the infancy of an NCAA Division III program. We'll see.
Plenty of new faces to tell you about tonight, throughout the night. Rundown of definitely the best schedule that this Rebel team has ever had in the history of its program. And when you go to the Final Four of the ACHA, there's big boy programs that are waiting to play you, and they get things started off with the #1 NCAA team in the country, the Denver Pioneers.
That's going to be a really exciting game. Denver, they won the national championship last season in the NCAA, and it's just going to be a really good test. It's a premier program in the NCAA. They have plenty of NHL prospects, plenty of size, and it's just going to really kind of put UNLV on the map, and that was the point of them even getting the Alaska Anchorage games.
Starting goaltenders tonight, Landon Pavlison will get to start. Vince Benedetto in goal for Scarlet, or check that for Gray. Pavlison in goal for Scarlet, so Scarlet is, Scarlet's reddish, right?
A little bit.
And we'll go with Gray as Gray. So it's going to be interesting to see Pavlison making his first appearance. Obviously, it's not an official start, but his first appearance for the Rebels. And we'll see how he does. He's a D3 transfer from Wisconsin Superior. 3-1-1 with Wisconsin. A 90% save percentage, 3.05 goals against. And depth at goaltending. We'll talk about that a lot as the season goes on, but depth at goaltending is, again, you don't want to continuously talk about the expectations for this team, but with goaltending depth, a bigger team, they still are looking for that A, they're looking for a captain. Number two, they're looking for some dominant scoring. And you look at Lindenwood, who won the title last year. Nobody scored more goals than Lindenwood. And they have proven that you need an offense that is going to be potent night in and night out.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, looking at the standings last year and looking at the stats for UNLV compared to the other top schools in Division I, UNLV's scoring numbers weren't as good as the other top teams like Lindenwood, like Liberty. They were kind of lacking in that department. So these added junior talents, these added NCAA talents, they definitely will be adding something to this team this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. As Max Johnson chases it for Scarlett into the corner and lays it off. Just about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes gone in the first half. And it will not be running time. Maybe, I think it'll be running time last 5 minutes. I've asked every question in the book except that last one is Gunnar Smith, a newcomer, picks the puck up for the Rebels and again dumps it, skates with it into the corner. And shot right in on Benedetto who makes the glove save. So 20:02. No, there it goes. This is going to be my dilemma in the scrimmage, the running clock. So 19:55, and it is running time. So we'll play 2 25-minute halves. And really, you talk to the coaching staff, and what do they want to get out of this? Well, they're still trying to find a leader. They're still trying to put the C on somebody, and I think that's one of the main focuses. And then, I mean, you look in this lineup, and I think they're going to be good defensively as Benedetto reaches out to make another save. And I think this team is going to, every single night, it's going to be scoring by committee. I don't think you're going to have, one guy come in here and be a 20-25 goal scorer. It's going to be solid goaltending, solid defensive play, and, of course, there's going to be a new hero every single night.
Yeah, I agree with you there, too, and that's what contributed to UNLV's success last season. Their abundance to score up and down the lineup. There's different lines that produce at different rates night in and night out, and it really, really contributed to their success. There was always scoring up and down the forward lines and the defensive pairs.
Puck picked up there by Mazzillo. He loses it for a second as it falls off of Demizios. Check that Tinling stick. And it goes back of Pavlison as it's picked up by the Scarlet team, back out to center ice. Carson Preston, a new name that we will talk about quite a bit, shoots it in. And then we have a good mix of freshmen on this team as well as a lot of seniors. This is a team that has a lot of experience, but a lot of freshmen that are going to be the future of this program. As the puck goes outside the zone and offsides with 18:11 to go in the first half.
One of those freshmen that really jumps out to me is fresh face out of the USPHL from the Las Vegas Thunderbirds, Caleb Strong. Looking at his stats from the last season, he absolutely tore it up with the Thunderbirds. A really exciting offensive talent to really add to the abundance of scoring that we've touched on earlier in the game. And it's going to be really exciting to see him and see what he can do with the team.
Mazzillo tried to get it up to Burke, and Burke had it off his stick. We appreciate you joining us tonight on the UNLV Skating Rebel YouTube channel. If you have any comments, please feel free to send them along to me at Dana Lane Sports on Twitter. More than happy to look at those during the intermission. And picked up there by Mazzillo. Mazzillo playing on the first defensive pairing tonight. Back to Mazzillo. And chased there by Caleb Strong, as we just mentioned, a former Thunderbird, and it's interesting to see the development of some of these guys that have come over from Division III. There's some transfers from Division I hockey, and shot goes, passes goes wide. Flanders was caught up there for a second. I thought he was going to gain control of it and get it out, but Scarlett maintains possession, blocked there nicely as Kyle Quinn was setting up for a shot. It goes in on Benedetto, and Benedetto down to make the save with 16:40 left in the first period. Thrown back out to center ice and played there by Pavlison. Laid off there for Quinn. Quinn over to Jensen as they crisscross in their own defensive zone, throwing the length of the ice. And we say play on as both teams make a change. Gray through the neutral zone. That's Alex Johnson. Alec Johnson was instrumental last year in the Rebels' success. Blocked there nicely as Falig was trying to get a shot off. Didn't get to Benedetto at all. And a shot to blocker save as Pavlison handles his shot by Alec Johnson quite easily. So 15:50 to go in the first half. No score in the annual Scarlet and Gray scrimmage from City National. What are your early assessments? I think they're skating well, and again, you want somebody to you want somebody that you're not expecting to shine in these kind of games. And I'm always interested because these guys that are coming from Division III hockey or even Division I hockey, I want them to shine. This should be not so much Division III as Pavlison gets down to make a nice save. Pavlison came out of his net, shut down the angle, and there was nothing to shoot at. Good job there. And the better that Landon Pavlison could be, boy, that between Pavlison and Benedetto, I mean, those are two guys that are going to be solid backups.
I agree with you there, too. I think with Pavlison and his addition to the team, the third goalies last season didn't really see the ice that much, but with the way Pavlison is playing and Benedetto's already proven, we might be seeing a 1A, 1B, and 1C option in between the pipes with Wixon, Pavlison, and Benedetto.
And, of course, Wixon, the Mr. Everything, you could say he's number one goaltender, although they don't like to put a label on their goaltenders because they think every one of them are capable, but Zach's not playing tonight. No need to stretch him out for this practice, get him set for the schedule, and we'll go over that schedule. It's second to none in the history of this program as Burke chases the puck behind Pavlison back out to the point. Hesitation in down low slot area, backhander. Pavlison loses sight of the puck for the second, back out to the point, shot deflected wide. And picked up there by Kyle Quinn. Quinn on up to Burke. Burke with a head of steam through the neutral zone. Finally attempted to get cut off there by Barry, but then make a move to the middle. Didn't get a shot off as it's poked away from the stick. In transition, back the other way. Here's Flanders. And a shot and a score. And Flanders a terrific feed with 13:22 to go in the first period. And we get our first score of this scrimmage.
That was just phenomenal play there through the neutral zone. In transition, quick little 2-on-1 going the other way. Flanders with a beautiful flat saucer pass cross ice to Caleb Strong, who just absolutely buries it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I thought it was Caleb Strong. And, of course, they're looking for a kid like that, and that's for his own confidence. Getting a goal, even in a scrimmage like this, is absolutely huge. He's used to racking up the points with the Thunderbirds, but to come at the ACHA Division I level and now have his first point is huge for his confidence. Caleb Strong is getting announced right now as a goal scorer, and Rister from the point scores again. And Gray takes a 2-0 lead. And that was a clean wrister from the right point with 12:15 to go, and that makes it 2-0. That goal was scored. We have 14 on the – don't have a 14 on the roster, so that's why. So here we go. We'll get the announcement on who scored that goal.
That puck looked like it had eyes, just a Shea Theodore-esque wrist shot from the point, if you will, just finds its way through Pavlison.
Those are goals that Pavlison has to stop. And I realize there probably was a screen, but it's a way to square up the shooter. You know where the puck is, and you have to come out and square up the shooter and give him very little room to shoot at, not just beat him cleanly. And clearly a shot he didn't see, and first time he saw it was in the back of the net. So Gray takes a 2-0 lead with 11:34 to go in the first half. There's check that, Riley Jensen. Shoots it down deep. Alec Johnson picks it up, has positioning. 11:19 to go. Backhander and a save by Benedetto. Chase there and a hit by Batusov. Michael Batusov, or check that, Daniel Fisher. We're going back to Michael Batusov, a guy that he has to put up the same offensive numbers that he did last year for UNLV to have success. Even though you have scoring by committee. Here's the announcement on the goal. Yeah, we didn't hear so muffled.
I caught it. It's always good to hear the new guys contributing, and that's exactly what they did. Goal scored by Trent Carter with the assist to Zaro Tinling. Always good seeing the new guys contribute. Three new faces from UNLV on the board early.
Backhander on over to Grant Smith. Grant Smith, not a newcomer, but certainly would like to get on the board to start his season off. Here's a backhander on over to Gunnar Smith, and had it rolled off his puck with 10 minutes, or off his stick with 10 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0 Gray. And 15 minutes played. Again, 2 25-minute halves. And then we'll call it a day, and we'll go over this fantastic schedule in a second as soon as we have a whistle. Because it is a gauntlet to begin with. And 2 Division I teams on the schedule. And Carson Preston was right in front on a center ice drive, and that speed up the middle is so huge for UNLV, because the more speed you have up the middle, the more options you have on the perimeter. And getting to the front of the net at times last year sometimes it was non-existent, and you just want to see them get to the net a little bit more. You want to see them get a few more greasy goals. And a team that gets greasy goals, to me, is a team that just, you're going to be in for a fight every single night with them.
And those kinds of teams gave UNLV a lot of trouble last year. One team that rings true to that is Grand Canyon University.
Grand Canyon, exactly.
They were very, very chippy. They never gave up on any play. They always got those greasy goals. And at the end of the day, looking at the scoreboard and even stats, no one ever asks how. They always ask how many.
Well, Grand Canyon has always been that kind of team, no matter what year UNLV has played them. And that's going to be offside with 8:30 to go. 2-0 Gray leads Scarlet. And the annual Scarlet and Gray scrimmage from City National Arena. Face-off just outside the Scarlet zone. Be taken there by Gunnar Smith, and Smith wins the draw. Max Beller had thought about getting a shot and a save by Pavlison. Pavlison in good position that time to make the save. So the face-off just right of Pavlison. Gray wins the draw, back out to the point. Nice move there by Alec Johnson, who, good stick work, got to the middle of the ice, found some room, and created room, and then you had a shot off that was saved by Pavlison. So 7:32 left. Back with a head of speed. Here comes Demizio. Demizio shoots and a save by Pavlison. Good stick work. With 7:25 left. Back out to the point. Still not outside the zone. Here's Alec Johnson. Alec Johnson shoots and scores. Well, that's what a veteran does. And Alec, when he first got the puck, didn't have a lane to the net. Used his feet, found an open space, and then when he found it, he unleashed a laser beam past Pavlison, and Gray has a commanding 3-0 lead with 6:52 to go in the first half.
One thing that I noticed that directly led to that goal, and that's been a pretty big trend these last few minutes as the play has been a little more wide open. Gray seems to be jumping on the loose pucks a bit more, and they're playing phenomenally through transition, and that's kind of hemmed the Scarlet team in. And then, as you said, Alec Johnson, he found the lane and just ripped one bar down past Pavlicin.
And Demizio also had a assist on that. So 3-0 with 6:13 left in the first half. And Jack Kennedy got back to get position, and he got it on up to Cole Wyatt. Wyatt with a center ice drive, but then leads it off for Gunnar Smith. Gunnar Smith goes behind Benedetto and looks for a centering pass. Nobody there, and has it poked away to center ice as it's going to find its way down to Pavlicin. Pavlicin comes out to play it, loses the puck, goes back out to Flanders. Flanders, and the shot goes just wide of its intended target. It's saved by Pavlicin. Back out to the point as Paxton Malone is skating around like Connor McDavid. No, I'm not making comparison, just that's what Connor McDavid does. Trying to find some room. Here's Gunnar Smith. Gunnar Smith gets forced to the right and makes a move to the middle. Good save there by Benedetto as he gets down. And that was a terrific move by Gunnar Smith, who made it look like he was going to the corner. And defensively, UNLV looked like they were in position, but made a quick move to the middle. And the puck was able to find its way in on Benedetto, who made the save. Last year, UNLV 16-1 and 0 at home. Another terrific mark at City National Arena, as they've had for as long as they've been here. Of course, even playing, no matter where they played at home, they've had terrific home marks. Shot there by Alec Johnson, and was poked away. Johnson was trying to pick a corner. It's a centering pass in on Manning. Manning, a backhander. Pavlicin down to push it away into the corner, but Gray still maintains possession. A slapper from Carrillo, another one of those new Rebels. And a save by Pavlicin. So 4:19 to go in the first half. I told you this thing would go by quick.
I'm loving it, though. Big fan.
Joey Carolla, freshman, played for the Texas Junior Brahmas last season in a 3HL team. And that's a league that's got 34 teams in 16 states. So that is a big league. There's two Rebels that have played for that team historically. So 4 minutes ago in the first half, good job there by Quinn. Good stick work as he poked it away in through the neutral zone. Now into the offensive end, here comes Bellard. Bellard ripped a shot that went wide, but you could definitely see from the new names, you could definitely see a bunch of talent, a lot of speed, and the decision-making process hasn't been that bad either.
And these new guys.
And Benedetto gets down to make the first save, doesn't make the second save, and Scarlet finally gets on the board, 3-1 with 3:27 to go in the first half. And we'll get the goal call on this.
Looks like
Daniel Fisher gets the goal for Scarlet. So that's good for Fisher too, because Fisher's a guy that you really want to see him build confidence. And so far, the best part about this scrimmage is there's new guys and guys that you want to see their game go up a notch from where it has been. You want to see them on the ice a lot more. So far, outside of Johnson, so far the new guys and the guys that are seeking more playing time have been the players that you've talked about the most.
Most definitely. I agree with you there. And from the jump, there's just a lot of energy with all these new players. A lot of energy from guys like Grant Smith. Like, as you mentioned earlier, he didn't get a lot of playing time last year. So he's really just trying to prove himself. And just going back to Daniel Fisher very quickly, it's big for him to build that confidence since he did miss a lot of the season last season with an injury. So him coming back and getting on the board, even in the scrimmage, it has the same effect on him as it does the new guys, just building confidence.
And Cole Wyatt tried to get it out of the zone, not quite able to do that as they kept it in and finally poked out with 2:46 to go in the first half from City National. 3-1 Gray over Scarlet. And they score again. And Benedetto, I think, got caught leaning to the right and shot it over his left hand, his left shoulder, and that cuts the lead to 3-2.
Just a strange goal there.
A goal there by Cole Wyatt. And you expect Cole Wyatt to have a huge year, so a guy that will fight for top line minutes and definitely or second line minutes, but a guy that UNLV is going to rely on for their offensive success this upcoming year.
And definitely, he definitely hopes to build off of his season last season. He's one of the top point getters.
4-on-3, shot goes just wide by Alec Johnson. Alec Johnson looking for his second goal. Bradley Gallant on the assist. And blocked nicely as Scarlet trying to tie this up before the end of the first half. 2 minutes to go. And Gray's lead has been cut to 3-2. I think the other thing you want to see is compete level. You want to see everybody out there competing and working hard, and not so much just focus on whatever their role is. Bradley Gallant's a guy, I've said it last year, he's been my favorite Rebel for a while just because of the way that he plays, and might not show up on the score sheet every single night, but he is always involved in creating havoc in both ends of the ice, really.
Gallant's a very gritty player. I share that same sentiment. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Him and Batuzov on the penalty kill last season. They basically were a power kill. They were always in people's faces. First guy's into the zone, last guy's out.
And Benedetto got caught there for a second. No harm as the puck goes wide with a minute to go in the first period. Fought for and back of the goal mouth and then finally finds its way back out to the point. As Mazzillo had it for a second, got it off his stick. Saved there by Benedetto and sent back down the other way. Shot from the right point. We got to get a 6 on the roster when we get a chance. I'm sure the parents of number 6 would love that.
Looks like Jaden Ness.
Well, there you go. We'll put Jaden Ness in there. Daniel Fisher up through the middle of the zone with 23 seconds to go. And back the other way as Gray tries to take a 4-2 lead as it's poked away. Taken there by Burke. Burke kept it in nicely, but then found its way on to a scarlet stick as DeMizio looked to shoot it out, and then it finally does get out to the neutral zone. Picked up there by DeMizio as he goes down the middle and poked away, and that's going to do it for the first half.
Very electric period there from both teams. Goals in bunches, momentum in bunches, very fast-paced.
Yeah, from a speed standpoint, and we've said this many times against many opponents here at City National, that from a speed standpoint, I love the new guys so far. I love them from a defensive standpoint. They look responsible on the ice, and nobody looks overwhelmed out there. So, so far after, 25 minutes, you got to be pretty happy with what you see. But, of course, the coaches will go back and look at it on film and see what they think. So, Dominic, your time is done. I know you were a little bit nervous, but you did fantastic, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
I appreciate it, buddy. So we're going to take a quick break, and then Ryan Gilder will join us for the second half. He'll do color for the second half of this game. At the intermission, Gray 3, Scarlet 2. Take a quick break. We'll be back with the second half. Thanks for joining us from City National Arena. Okay, well, welcome back to City National Arena for the second half of the Scarlet and Gray scrimmage. Dominic Savoy is up on the doing camera now, and we have changed. Ryan Gilden is our second half color commentator, and Ryan, it's great to have you on the broadcast. I love having new people come on the broadcast and kind of get their insight on what's happening. And, of course, you're no stranger to broadcasting various sports, but brand new to hockey.
Yeah, very excited to start hockey. I've loved the UNLV hockey team since I've gone here to UNLV. And I got introduced to this team by being the camera guy for the first half of the game.
Yes,
and
you are.
I go to UNLV hockey, do my first game as a scrimmage. It goes in 2 halves, not 3 periods. And they're like, hey, let's just have you on the camera. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah, we appreciate the camera guy not showing up. That's always an awesome thing. But what was your first half thoughts on this? I thought there was a lot of speed. I thought the kids that are brand new to the program or needed some playing time, and I will probably find some more playing time this year, were extremely good, and that's always good for confidence heading into the opener.
It was a great quality first half. I would feel like for both teams, including the goalies, you're able to get some game action, get some game shots. Also, for the referees, being able to adjust to an actual game setting. It's not just preseason for the players out here. It's preseason for everyone out here. And for the players to adjust to the new refs, especially the new players here, it looked really good. And also for the new freshmen to get their first action of college hockey after coming in from Canada or wherever they came from in the United States. It's very good to see. And now I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second half.
And, of course, Benedetto and Pavlison will stay in goal. Unlike last year where they changed goaltenders and jerseys and nobody told me, so I was calling the wrong goaltender for the whole second half. That's fun. We appreciate you joining us on the UNLV Skating Rebel YouTube channel. If you have any comments, please feel free to send them along our way or to @Dana Lane Sports. Be happy to answer those after the broadcast. So getting ready for this second half, and I think, again, we're looking for leadership. We're looking for some scoring depth. We're definitely looking for defensive responsibility. I think from a defensive standpoint, Ryan, I thought they were extremely good in the first half. Plenty of opportunities. You could see the guys with a little bit more experience, like Alec Johnson, use that experience to get a goal and get a nice shot off from the center point, looking for his second goal at one point. So just underway, and we'll go down that schedule as McCollum picks up the puck and then loses it in back of Pavlison. Pavlison hugging the post, now picked up by Malone. Malone with his head up, centering passes. Gray looking for a double-digit lead. Good move there, and a shot and a save by Pavlison. Gray still in control. There's Johnson. Johnson loses a good stick work there by McCollum. And check that, Bradley Gallant, who's no stranger to good stick work. He's been doing it for UNLV for a very long time. So running clock in the second half, just about a minute gone so far. 3-2 Gray. And Gray back into the offensive zone. Cross pass on over to Flanders. Flanders lost it off his stick and up against the half wall. Picked up there by Quinn. Back out to the point. Shoved in the low slot area, picked up there by Flanders. Flanders turns around and shoots, and a save by Pavlison with 23:42 to go in the second half.
Couple good possessions there by the Gray team. Like the shot there by Flanders, and there was a couple of rebound opportunities that the Gray team had.
And of course, we know Mr. Flanders is watching down in Florida. He's always watches and comments, and we watched his son Nick throw quite a bit as a hockey player. As Pavlison makes another save on a Flanders shot. Flanders goes in a corner, fishes it out, back out to the point, and a shot there by Barry gets deflected down the other end.
Very good job there by Jake Barry, able to block that shot.
Dylan Ford was back there quickly to start the transition as Caleb Strong is in a scrum against two Scarlet players. Fished out there nicely, and Pavlison makes his save. And deflection in front by Mazzillo. Goes into the left corner. Mazzillo picks the puck up with his head up, looking for somebody in the middle of the ice, and decides to throw it in Gallant's way. Just outside the reach of Gallant. And finally for Scarlett Batusov as he throws it down the ice, and as Scarlett makes a quick change with 22 minutes to go in the second half. 3-2 Gray, and the annual Scarlet and Gray scrimmage from City National Arena. And next whistle, we'll start in on this schedule because you're not going to want to miss any of these games. 3-on-2 and a backhander to save by Pavlicin. Pavlicin stuck his stick out to make sure there was no room. And couple goals tonight that he probably would have liked to have had back, but he's been pretty solid for his first look at in a Rebel uniform.
Absolutely. Coming into a scrimmage game, the number one thing that you want to do is be able to go through adversity, because you're going to have to go through adversity during the season. And giving up 3 goals early, then coming into the second half, doing a much better job. That's what the good players do to be great.
Puck goes on to play with 21 minutes to go. So let's get into the schedule real quick. After this, the next time UNLV plays will be October 1st against the Denver Pioneers. Yes, that Denver, the number 1 team in the country. At least that's the way they left last year with their 5-1 win over Minnesota State. So UNLV is going to test their mettle early on against the best opponent you could say that this team has ever faced, as Tindling was trying to make a move to the front of the net.
It's really hard to get much better than that, than Denver, after winning the championship last year.
And of course, Denver University is no stranger to winning titles. Here's Falig. Falig thought about making a move to the front of the net. Good job there by Del Monte, cutting off the lane to the front. And you can see all the young players, a lot of times last year they would just go into the corner and look for a centering pass, but a lot of them tonight are putting their foot in the ice and making that move towards the middle of the ice.
Yeah, a lot of moves to the middle of the ice. They're trying to get the shots in because it looks like Pavlicin's giving up a lot of rebounds, so they're trying to get the and-one shot after.
Quinn lost it off his stick, but Scarlett was still able to maintain possession. Here's Gallant. Didn't find its way into Benedetto with 19:50 to go in the second half. No score in this second half, so it remains a 3-2 game. Back the other way. Here comes Flanders. Flanders ridden off the puck by Strong. And Strong has been just that here in his debut in a UNLV uniform. As Alec Johnson goes back, but gets it picked off by Max Johnson. His brother decided to take it away from. They'll have a discussion about that over dinner tonight, I'm sure. Picked up there by Gallant. Gallant on up to Johnson. Max Johnson had it poked off his stick and back the other way. Here comes Scarlett. Battle for it in the middle is Gallant. And you'll see Gallant win this battle 9 times out of 10 and at least disrupt the play, which he did there. That was Max Beller. 18:56 to go, 3-2 Gray. And we're going to have a whistle. So let's go through at least the October schedule. And then they're going to play University of Utah. They got 2 games against Utah. It's on the 7th and 8th of October. The first game is going to be at Dollar Loan Center. That's a 7 o'clock start on the 7th. And Lifeguard Arena on the 8th against the University of Utah. And then on the 14th and 15th, UNLV will go on the road to Alaska to take on Alaska Anchorage, which will be their second Division I team that they'll play this year. So they have 3 games against Division I teams. That has never happened in the history of this program. And that really tells you where this program is headed over the next few years, because not only are they going to have the ability, as we have an offside there, not only are they going to have the ability to play these teams, but it says something about the program when a Denver University says, yes, we'll play you.
Yeah, absolutely. UNLV hockey wants to become a D1 program, and to do that, they have to play against D1 programs before they officially become a D1 program. And they should head into these games just like normal, because UNLV is playing right now like a D1 team, so now they got to show it.
And of course, always on the mind of UNLV is shot goes in on Pavlik and makes a save. Shot again, good job blocker save there. And Pavlison has gotten stronger as the game goes on. Backhand transition into the offensive zone, centering pass onto Smith. And Gunnar Smith had it blocked away. Now this game has become a track meet, which is incredibly fun to watch. Paxton Malone was trying to pick a corner there, couldn't find it. It was blocked in front, but Gray still maintains possession. High slot area goes wide, maybe got a stick on it, and finally picked up there by Falik. Falik through the neutral zone, and then gets ridden into the corner with 16:42 to go in the second half. 3-2 Gray. These things go by fast, these scrimmages. And Burke looking for a centering pass. Had Kennedy there for a second as puck is loose. Finally picked up there by Scarlett. Kennedy battling for it along the half wall against Flanders. And shot back out of the zone with 16:20 left. So just a one-goal game, and of course, doesn't mean anything in the standings. There's a 2-on-1. Flanders makes a move, and a backhander and a save. That's two saves. Two saves by Pavlison, and I'm not sure if this was a regular season. You'd want the whistle to be blown there. I'm not sure he had possession, but whistle blown.
Well, it is preseason for everyone here.
Yep, for sure.
And Pavlison, this second half, has looked electric.
Yeah,
has a lot of shot face, and he's been able to stop all of them.
Gray wins the draw. His shot goes over the goal mouth. And Pavlison lost it for a second. I don't know if he reached back and got it, but he, regardless, stayed out of the net.
That will definitely go on the highlight reel, Dana. That was a great save right there.
How do you think Dominic's doing on camera?
I mean, it's hard to see the monitor from here, but he has some film experience at the UNLV JMS school, and those are some pretty good teachers over there, so I'm not concerned about the camera work at all.
15:06 to go in the second half.
Yeah, and Don was pretty much my camera teacher.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like, hey, this is what you should do when someone scores, and there was 5
Well,
goals.
I noticed you got a shout out to the teachers there. Is there a couple of classes you're kind of iffy on your grades?
There's a couple classes
Yeah.
I don't really like too much, but my grades are pretty good.
Is there anybody specifically you want to shout out to?
Well, I'm not going to shout out any bad classes because
Okay.
I'm trying to look professional, but I mostly like my classes at UNLV. I mean, like everyone in my major in journalism media studies, I like all my teachers in that department.
Here's Mazzillo. Mazzillo, strength going over the blue line. Try to get rid of off the puck. Unsuccessful. The shot goes wide. Makes its way back out to the left point and out of the zone. Picked up there by Jensen. Jensen into the offensive zone. Lays it off for Smith. Smith centering pass. Back out to the point. And now a save by Benedetto. There's a second save. Benedetto is down. I think Benedetto made 2 saves in the crease. And they keep this game at 3-2 as the action is certainly back and forth. And defensive hockey is out the window in the second half.
Oh, absolutely, Dana.
Here's Fisher. Fisher through the zone. Ridden off into the corner. And Fisher still maintains control, looking for a centering passes. He was behind the goal mouth. Sent it back out to the point, then lost possession. Here's Flanders. Flanders into the offensive zone. Lays it on off. Back on over to Manning. Manning backhanded pass, and now in control by Alec Johnson. Johnson over to Manning. Manning, Flanders had it hop over a stick as he gets crushed against the boards by McCollum. Shot in on Pavlison, trying to make a glove save and deflected off his glove and in the air.
Yeah, almost turned into a scary play right there for the Scarlet team.
Mazzillo up to Preston. Preston finds some room, shoots it in. Benedetto makes a save. Benedetto out of the goal mouth, gets back in there quickly, gets down to make another save. 12:35 to go second half. Back out to the right point, shot in by Falik, and Benedetto gets down to make that save, and we'll get back to this incredible schedule that UNLV has. After Anchorage, they will finally come home and settle into the rest of their series, or rest of their season rather, October 27th and 29th. And of course, that's going to include the annual midnight game. That's going to be against Arizona State. Opposition always loves to come in and play midnight games. Not really, but that's that's going to happen early against Arizona State. So to start off the schedule, you have Denver University, you have Utah, Anchorage, and ASU. That's not too bad for UNLV to start the 22-23 season.
Yeah, schedule looks awesome. And there's one thing, Dana, about this game that is unique. There's one thing is there's been no penalties so far. And there's definitely been times in this game where some could have been called. So I want to see in this game, maybe in the last couple minutes, I want to see how they do against the power play and on the penalty kill, because that's a major part of the game. And I haven't been able to see any of the Rebels in that so far.
Interesting, and I talked with Coach Riboni early in the week. He talked about cutting down on penalties, but then, you know, you look at Central Oklahoma, went to the title game last year, and they're in the top 5 in penalties last year. So, yes, you would love to curtail the penalties because they hurt you. I think specifically for UNLV, it's when they have the penalties, and there was way too many last year after scoring a goal. And I think that's the one thing that they have to cut back down. And then from a PK standpoint, they were phenomenal. I think the power play was good. I think it got better as the season went on. But they have to cut down a little bit on the penalties. That doesn't mean don't be a difficult team to play against. It's just stop with the retaliation penalties. And believe me, it's well known. Shot goes wide of Pavlison. It's well known in the ACHA that you can get UNLV in the penalty box and get power play opportunities.
Yeah, those are really mental mistakes there. There's mental, and then there's physical mistakes, and those retaliation penalties are mental mistakes. And they could cost you games, they could cost you series, and they could possibly cost you chances to win championships.
So 10:38 to go. Fisher wins the draw from Flanders and is quickly dumped down into the gray end. And chased there by Preston. And checked out Malone. Well, sometimes the clock stops, sometimes it doesn't stop. So confusing.
Yeah, they just press the button whenever they want to at this point. But that was a weird shot that went over to Palvison from the other blue line. It was a little tricky there, like a ground ball. Had a little bad hop there.
Press back, punch back down the other way. There's Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy up against the board by Manning. Manning trying to fish it out. Finally joined there by Batusov. And Scarlett able to win that battle as Jake Berry sent it through center ice, laid it off, and then lost possession of the puck. Back the other way with 9:34 to go. Quinn had it on his stick, laid it on off for Fisher. Fisher a backhander to save by Pavlison. As Belair, one of the newest Rebels. As we said, my biggest takeaway so far is failing back the other way. My biggest takeaway so far is all the new names. Nobody looks overwhelmed out there.
And nobody looks overwhelmed. It's a pretty well-run scrimmage, been playing pretty well. This is the first icing that almost happened in the game so far.
Gray in the offensive zone, a 3-on-1 in the low slot area, kicked away there by Tinling. And Tinling's kick just allowed transition back the other way from Burke. Lost control, 3-2 Gray. And Carollo, a cross ice pass, good body work there, but finally picked up there by Malone, Paxton Malone, who has USA hockey experience as well. And we expect big things from Malone in the 2022 season, picked up by Mazzillo.
Yeah, Pax Malone's one of those veteran guys that can really carry a team late in the season. One of those guys that you need in a locker room late in the season, especially when you're going to crunch time.
He's a guy that has to find success early and often, and the more confidence he plays with, the better he is. There's a backhander on, and Benedetto makes the initial save, but then Scarlett buries it home, and we're tied at 3 with 7:47 to go in the second half. And it looks like Max Johnson is going to get credit for the goal. So both Johnsons have scored tonight, and we're all tied up at 3 with 7:47 to go. And wouldn't you know it, it smells like overtime.
Yeah, interesting shot there with Max Johnson. Pretty much, it was a gift right for him. Ran right there, there was a rebound right there for him, and it was a pretty tough save there for Benedetto there, because the first one he got, second one just missed.
Well, Max tried to get number 2 there as he really got into one. It went wide of the goal mouth, back the other way. Here's Flanders. Flanders shoots it just wide. And Nicholas Flanders has been flying up and down the ice tonight. One of the Rebels that have definitely stuck out amongst his teammates as the puck goes in on Pavlison, and he makes the save as it hits the crest, and he eats that up quite easily. So 7:13 to go in the second half. Game now tied at 3. This is a good situation. I mean, there are going to be games this year where you have a tie score with 7 minutes to go, and it'll be interesting to see who steps up.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one here. 7.5 to go, plus possibly overtime. That'll be fun.
Here's Batusov. Batusov, one of the leaders of the Rebels, tries to make a move and unable to do it, and gets good stick work. I mean, defensively, both teams have played well. Benedetto down to make another save. Almost an opportunity for Fisher, but Fisher just couldn't corral the puck with 6:32 left, and Scarlett picks it up. It's hard just calling out colors. There's a head of steam and a shot and a score, and Gray takes a lead with 6:18 to go.
Just as we were talking about,
And
Paxton Malone.
And Paxton Malone gets the goal, and he picked the corner and shot a laser beam off his stick. It gives Gray a 4-3 lead. He's a guy that you really root for, because if Paxton can give you 15 to 20 on the year, boy, that just gives you so much offensive depth to add to the defensive depth that they've created this season. In the offseason, they've brought in a ton of defensive depth, which is something that they really have needed in past years. Good awareness there by Tinling. Tinling lays it off for Malone. 5:52 to go. Here's Malone. Centering pass to Johnson. Or check that to DeMizio. Just a little bit behind and went through his leg. DeMizio at blast. And DeMizio really wanted that one as he looks to the sky. And if you don't think these guys are playing hard in the scrimmage, they certainly are. I mean, this is the first real live hockey they've been able to play since losing that semifinal game last year.
Good opportunities there by DeMizio, and good centering pass there by Malone. And there were some good opportunities there. Good things from Gray over there.
Kennedy wraps it around the board. Taken there by McCollum. Robert McCollum playing. And the puck was loose, but it was blown dead. So 5:21 to go in the second half. 4-3 Gray. So how you feeling first time behind the mic doing color? And it's preseason for everybody, but you seem pretty comfortable.
Yeah, this is interesting. What?
And McCollum had no, that is an ACHA thing, and I first time I saw that, I wondered what the heck it is, and I haven't seen it very often.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, I'm going to get some clarification on that because I don't know if that's the result of a penalty shot or what that is. But I had to ask about that once, like 2 years ago, and because of course they don't do that in the NHL. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't do it.
Yeah. Initially, I thought it was a frozen puck and they just miscalled it when it was moving, and then you just see them move the puck to center ice. And I thought they were going to do a face-off, but it was a.
I saw it 2 years ago, and then I asked Coach Raboni about it, and he gave me an explanation. I haven't seen it since, but there's a reason why they do it like that, and I apologize. My depth of that particular play is not what it should be. 4:17 to go in the second half, 4-3 Gray. Puck dumped in and taken there by Quinn. Quinn on up to Fisher. Fisher gets it out of the offensive zone and collision, and nobody's hands goes up in the air, so we're all clean just under 4 minutes ago. Picked up there by Mazzillo.
Yeah, the refs have definitely letting them play tonight, but that's a good thing also because then you get to see more action from the players.
Well, that was the first time. I wondered how chippy this would get because there are some years where this scrimmage has gotten a little chippy, but I think this is going to be more about. That was probably the most physical sequence of events that we've seen all night. Gray has a 4-3 lead, trying to take a 2-goal lead, but lost control on up to Mazzillo. Mazzillo's pass couldn't find its mark as Gray goes back into the offensive zone. There's Tinling. Tinling just dumps it off and is going to go off for a change. Gray still in control. A shot from the point doesn't make its way. Just makes it to the top of the circle. And then back the other way with 2:54 to go in the third period. Taken there by McCollum, Robert McCollum. Playing first pairing defensive minutes tonight. We'll see how that all shakes down as they play the first game against the University of Denver. There's Flanders. Flanders with his head up, can't find any room, so he decides to throw it back to the point. Picked up there by Ford. Ford hits the net. And Gray still in control. Is strong looking for his second goal tonight. Made a nice move and then a blocker save from the point, and Gray's really feeling it now, up by 1. Cross-ice pass, shot, and another blocker save by Pavlison. Pavlison certainly has been busy in the last 2 minutes as Gray has maintained dominance in the offensive zone, and even there got out for the second. Barry went back to pick it up, and now Scarlett finally has it, and there's your first icing tonight that I can remember.
Yeah, that's
we'll come
the
back
first
the other
icing
way
of the night. Yeah, but some really good opportunities from Gray. They really wanted to put the game away with just under 2 minutes to go. They're up by a goal. They want to make it 2, put that seal on the scrimmage because you already know that this scrimmage has a ton of bragging rights.
Yeah, especially if you score. I mean, the guys, these young kids get on the scoreboard or, hit the pipe or, I mean, it's extremely important. I mean, did somebody call a timeout? Yes, they did.
Yeah, first timeout. It is my first hockey game, but it seems a lot more like some of the other sports I've done, like football and basketball, 2 halves, and plus we have timeouts going on.
Well, you want to have a timeout here because it's a 1-goal game, and you want to make sure what you're doing is you're trying to set yourself up mentally as if it was the regular season. And a 1-goal game, they're going to use this as a situation where Nick Raboni's going to draw up a play on the board, and we're going to say, okay, here's the situation. We want to, we're down by 1. We want to tie this up, and let's play this as if it's a real game.
I mean, absolutely, you want to play this as if it's a real game. Always play a game to win. Doesn't matter if it's practice, preseason. regular season, postseason, always playing it to be competitive. And down by a goal, Scarlet's really going to be looking for something here.
So what we're going to probably see here is Gray's going to get the face-off win, try to get it back out to the point immediately, and likely a shot from the left side if they win this cleanly. So let's see what happens here. Grant Smith will take the draw, he'll lose the draw, but we're going to do that once again. So 4-3, 150 to go in the second half. Grant Smith will try to get it back out to the point if he wins the draw for Gray. And then Grant Smith gets kicked out. Puck is loose, wins the puck, try to get it back out to Ford. But a stick was tied up, so it wasn't able to do that. Back the other way. And so we have an empty net at this point. And Pavlison is out of the net. So now we're going to skate 6-on-5. I mean, we've seen a lot of scrimmages, and this is probably hits a pipe. 1:10 to go. This is probably as entertaining of a scrimmage I've seen in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been very effective. Like, you could tell that these players are definitely gaining good experience from today's scrimmage.
Just under a minute to go. Backhander goes wide of the empty net. Taken by Beller. Max Beller playing third pairing defenseman tonight. Out there. Down a goal with 40 seconds to go. And an empty netter goes the length of the ice. And that's going to do it. So no overtime tonight. And Gray takes a 5-3 lead with 37 seconds to go when Pavlison will go back into the net. And that's going to do it for any potential overtime drama.
So no extra ice tonight, but it was a pretty good scrimmage overall, I would say. And I would say that defensemen, the forwards, and the goalies got good experience tonight and good game action against their teammates.
And we'll get the official announcement on the goal if we get it. And here it comes now. And Matias Del Monte, another newcomer to the UNLV program, gets the empty net goal. So once again, the theme tonight is new Rebels and Rebels that have been around but looking for some more playing time have been fantastic. And that's going to do it from Sydney National Arena from the Scarlet and Gray scrimmage. Gray wins 5-3. And winning goaltender Vince Benedetto, and I'm guessing that's not going to be the last time we say winning goaltender Vince Benedetto yet this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Vince Benedetto's done a great job. He did great last season, and it was really 1A, 1B with goalies. But I feel like having multiple good goalies, I really feel like Landon Pavlison also did a good job in the second half of this game. Really settled in, only gave up one goal. The other goal was an empty netter. But Pavlison took a lot of shots in that second half, took a total of 40 during the entire game. So really good to see him really mold and fold during the second half of the game.
And I thought he got a lot stronger as the game went on. And, of course, we know what we're getting out of Benedetto. And Zach Wixon, the big-time goaltender for UNLV, will be in net, of course, when they play the University of Denver. And now we're going to do a shootout, but I think our camera guy has already said that's enough. So he's going to be back up there now. So what are your overall thoughts as Riley Jensen goes one-on-one right now with Benedetto, and Benedetto makes a save? What's your overall thoughts? I mean, what's your expectation? I mean, this is a team last year that lost in the Final Four of the Central Oklahoma. They definitely know that they need to be more physical as they move there by Tinling. Doesn't quite get the results he was looking for as it rolled off his stick. So no score after the first round.
Yeah, my thoughts are that the future's bright for this Rebels team. You wanted to see today, hey, what's our future looking like? We're going to be putting in a lot of people that are new upcoming Rebels and people that have been Rebels, the veterans that are looking for some more playing time. And I saw all sides, all phases of the game looked good today. And I thought it was an effective scrimmage, and everyone got a little bit better today.
There's Carson Preston, and Preston had the puck roll off his stick, and this is kind of a tradition after the scrimmage where they have a shootout, so no score after 2 rounds. Here's DeMizio. DeMizio makes a move and scores easily. Quick hands by DeMizio. And back the other way is Jack Kennedy. Kennedy slapper and a save by Benedetto. So 1-0 Gray as they've won the game in the scrimmage and also lead the shootout 1-0. And Gray looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead, and a shot by Jack, checked that by Brendan Manning, goes wide. So it's still 1-0. And Hunter Mazzillo looks to tie this up. The veteran Mazzillo looking to have a big year. Goes to the right, backhander, forehand, and scores. So we're all tied up at 1. And boy, this is not the way the NHL does it. It is fast
Absolutely
and
not.
furious.
I like this a lot more,
like
Dana.
this.
It's a lot better. Fast and furious, and it's quick. It's more entertaining. I also like how they do it in the game when they have to take a penalty shot. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know about that stuff.
I like it. It's
I don't
fun.
know what was going on there. Like I said, I haven't seen that in like 2 years. Hits the pipe. So we're still tied at 1. I remember the first time I saw that, and that was one thing I never had asked about is the way that they handled the penalty shots as Quinn was denied. This thing might last all night right now.
Now, this has been 1-1 for a while here, Dana.
Yeah, and he thought Batusov would end this, and Batusov didn't. Here comes Burke. Burke backhand, back to the forehand, makes a move and scores. That was a pretty move as he beats Benedetto. And back the other way one more time, and a move and a great stick there on Grant Smith. I guess everybody's going to get to shoot.
Yeah, because if it was going to stay 1-1 forever, I thought that we would have to go out and finish this thing.
Here's Wyatt, and that makes it 3-1, and that, well, everybody's going to shoot. This is not the NHL, folks.
But how's your shootout skills, Dana?
Oh, I mean, the quickest hands you've ever seen. It's just the skating part that's the problem. There's Falig. Falig gets denied. Quick stick work there as Joey Carollo, one of the newest Rebels, gets denied as well. And then here's Bradley Gallant. Gallant makes a couple moves, and then he gets too far inside Benedetto and wasn't able to get it past him. I don't know what the rules are of this anymore. I mean, we're into the 80th round.
Yeah, we're at the pond hockey.
Flanders has it.
We're doing a pond hockey shootout at this point.
And Beller goes wide as Flanders was denied. Back the other way is Barry and Jake Barry. Barry changed numbers this year. I thought it was 14 last year. So I haven't thought about it in 6 months, so I'm probably just making that up, but I thought it was 14 last year.
Yeah, not all the numbers are official yet because we don't have the official roster and those numbers yet, but
there's only a few of the numbers that are the same. Of course, Robert McCollum has 14, so maybe that's the reason for that. Well, now it's 4-1. I guess we're going to just get shooting. They're going to shoot all night. And Del Monte, who scored a goal tonight, was denied. And I guess we're finally done. So Scarlet wins that. They lose the game, but Scarlet wins that 4-1. Hey, man, I appreciate it. You were fantastic. Got the nerves out of the way. We'll see you next month officially for Utah, and then we're going to have a long home schedule, and it's going to be a fantastic year for UNLV hockey.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on, and it's going to be an exciting season for the Rebels.
Well, for Ryan Gilden on Dana Lane, thanks for joining us, and we'll take a little bit of a break here, and then, of course, UNLV will be back to face Denver University at Magnus Arena, and that's going to be October 1st, and that's how they're going to start their season. So Once again, we appreciate you joining us on the UNLV YouTube channel. It's going to be a great year with a terrific schedule as UNLV tries to go deeper into the ACHA tournament than they did last year. And, of course, if they do, that means they're going to find themselves in the championship game. But step one comes against Denver, and we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us on the UNLV YouTube channel. Have a good night, everybody.